Hello everyone, welcome back to Rose Tarot and Astrology. I am your host, Mel Rose, and if you're a regular watcher or if you're a brand new watcher, I'm just so happy you're here. Thank you for being here with us. This is a general astro reading for Wednesday, December 4, 2024. I don't do horoscopes in these videos, so if you're looking for more personalized information, if you're curious about your zodiac sign or your birth chart or about astrology in general, do feel free to reach out to me personally. My email address is on the last slide of this presentation, and I'll add the links in the description. This week is still a big week in astrology, so in fact, the bulk of this week's action in the skies happens today through Saturday. It's definitely the most active week of the month, and I think it's going to give us some stuff to chew on through the beginning of next year. Remember this week to go easy on yourself. Mercury is retrograde, Mars is stationing retrograde on Friday. With so much happening in the skies, it's a good bet not to overpromise or overplan what you can do right now. As usual, I invite you to like the video, subscribe to the channel. It all helps me out a lot. And if you want to, you can leave a comment down below. Say hello to me so I can say hello back to you. On Monday, I was so excited to tell you guys all about the whole week. I didn't even talk about the sun and moon. The sun is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is outgoing, optimistic, and action-oriented. And when the sun is here, we seem collectively inclined to bring warmth, light, and generosity to our communities. We share food and good cheer. We bring gifts. We string up lights to light the long winter nights. All of these things are really appropriate in these few weeks leading up to the winter solstice, which is also the longest night of the year. The moon is in Capricorn most of today, nudging our hearts toward what's practical and effective. We're ready to put in some work. And the void, of course, today is from 5:35 p.m. to 10:20 p.m., at which time the moon will move on into Aquarius. That 5-hour void, of course, is a great time to relax and reflect and journal, get into your creative and intuitive practices. Think of it as an opportunity to process and reset. Also today, give me a moment. Also today, Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius opposes Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. That's that line I'm pointing straight at. It goes the same direction, right? This is a conversation of tension surrounding our natural optimism and big picture thinking at this time of year and our desire for detailed information we can take action on. Both planets being retrograde makes this a time to reflect and revise on both fronts. We have a warning here about planning too much in advance and not letting certain details fall into place in their own time. And another warning about saying too much, overstating our cases or being too convinced that my way is the one right way. Except that we are in a larger moment of transition, and the things we think of as factual may turn out to be incorrect in 3 or 4 weeks. So, taking our time to allow plans and conversations and other details to develop is really best for now. As if that isn't frustrating enough, the sun completes a square with Saturn today. This is our sense of purpose meeting an obstacle in the form of a duty or boundary or other limitation. And the question is always, am I going to let this stop me from pursuing my sense of purpose? And the point is not to get stopped, but to honor the limitation as we move forward. So it's not about ignoring the rule or jumping around the rule, finding a way to get around, the barrier that's been put up. It's about observing the boundary, but still managing to get done what you plan to get done. On the bright side, we also have this really sweet and pretty, even romantical vibe with Venus sextile Neptune today. Neptune is standing still in the sky now, preparing to end its retrograde this Saturday, which gives it a lot of power to affect us. Sextile is a cooperative vibration, saying that the planet of love and beauty, Venus, and the planet of universal love and connection are working to make something really good happen. This is definitely a sign, my friends, to take it easy and enjoy being alive and enjoy the big and small pleasures that life has to offer. Okay, tomorrow we have a Sun and Mercury conjunction. Illumination is on hand, especially where it concerns the work we're doing in the world. And we may find some clarity about what isn't working for us, which gives us an opportunity to adjust course for better results. And then on Friday, Mars stations retrograde, and this is the really big news of the week. Mars is retrograde for about 11 weeks every couple of years, and Mars is the planet of action, aggression, assertiveness. It's the part of us that comes out to complete the project, tackle the foe, make progress on the journey. And as it stands still in the sky, preparing to retrace its steps, we may notice some increased irritability, impatience, frustration. Mars retrograde is a time to pause and think about how we act on impulse and how we use our assertiveness to get things done. Being in Leo, this is bound to bring up problems we face around the subjects of ego, wounded pride, or unresolved conflicts. So if you find yourself feeling more agitated or disagreeing more with the people around you, I would suggest it's a good time to withdraw and think about your next moves. It may be a challenge not to let pride get in the way of your ability to progress as a team, but that is the task at hand, friends. Mercury retrograde squares off with Saturn this Friday as well. Our ability to plan and communicate is already under a challenge, and the square with Saturn suggests we may struggle to process the reality of our situation or to get our point across. Try not to speak from a heart of anger or impatience. Serious matters really require sober reckoning. Also, on Friday, the same day that Mars stations retrograde and Mercury and Saturn have their square, Venus moves on into Aquarius and then almost immediately conjuncts Pluto. We may find ourselves fascinated by something unexpectedly profound. Revolutionary vibes appeal to us at this time, and we may be looking for ways to overhaul how we relate and respond to whatever is disturbing our foundations right now. Saturday, the Sun and Jupiter will form an opposition. This is a signature for overdoing it in our work, social, and civic lives. This is a very social season and often a time when we have a lot more work to do. So Saturday might be a good day to take a break from outgoing activities and give yourself some downtime. After all, the big news on Saturday is that Neptune goes direct. Neptune, like Pluto, has an effect that is easier to observe on the cultural or collective level, but in our lives when Neptune goes direct, it can feel a lot like waking up. It's possible we've been living with some illusions or lack of clarity about a subject, and that fog is likely to begin to lift this week. Of course, Mercury and Mars retrograde will have some impact on our ability to take action on the fresh perspective we find at this time. It's still a time for reflection, okay? Take your time. Perhaps there's an opportunity here to integrate what we've discovered into our plans before taking action. And that's a lot happening in just a few days, friends. So I'll remind you again to go as easy on yourself as you can. Do your best to maintain the optimism and hopefulness that comes with the Sun and Sagittarius season. Next week will be less active and hopefully less intense, but we do have a full moon coming up. And of course, I'll be here to try and clarify and support your understanding and progress. That's it for today, friends. Thank you so much for being here. Much, much love and gratitude to you all. And I'll see you on Friday. Bye-bye.